Harriet?
I can hear you. I'm not
Okay,
where it's from, but I can hear you.
thank you. I've been having problems with my Zoom mic, so I just wanted to make sure they can hear me. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. You sound loud and clear for me. Thanks.
Thank
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It's noon on Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. The scheduled time for our bi-monthly insurance show cause hearing. Before we get going, I just want to make sure our court reporter Harriet is ready to go.
I'm here.
Great. Thanks, Harriet. I don't see any respondents on the call. I just want to confirm that that's everybody else's observation as well, that it's just commission staff and me today. Okay. All right. Well, then let's get rolling. We can get this done quickly, I guess. All right. I am now calling proceeding number 23C-0425-INS. This is the Commission's bi-weekly insurance show cause proceeding set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. My name is Alenka Hahn, and I am the administrative law judge assigned to this case. Consistent with Commission practice, we are webcasting both the audio and the video of this hearing. We are also recording the hearing and have a court reporter taking down everything that's being said. To avoid background noise, I ask that you please keep your microphones muted until it is your turn to speak. To please speak loudly and clearly and not talk over each other so that we can have a nice, clean, good record. All right, if I could have entries of appearance, let's find out who's here today. Let me start with Commission. Go ahead.
Your Honor, my name is Sky Walker, attorney registration number 58330 from the Colorado Attorney General's office, and I'm here on behalf of staff.
Thank you so much, Ms. Walker. Just for the record, can you indicate who's here with you today?
Yes, I'm here with Marquita Riley.
All right. Thank you so much. As I indicated prior to the commencement of this proceeding, it looks as if we do not have any respondents present. So we can go ahead and commence with the Commission's presentation of evidence on the record. Are you ready to proceed, Ms. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, please
staff
go ahead
would
and
Yes, staff would like to Marquita Riley to the stand.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. Ms. Riley, if you go ahead and raise your right hand with me, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Walker, go ahead.
Hi, Ms. Riley. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marquita Riley, MARQUITA RILEY.
And who is your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
And what's your job title?
I'm the program assistant for the transportation unit.
And what is your role in today's proceeding?
I help to review the commission records and coordinate with commission staff against these proceedings for motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the commission statutes and rules require motor carriers to have or to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yes.
And can you tell us which statutes and rules require motor carriers to have evidence of financial responsibility?
For Rule 6008, require motor carriers file and maintain evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
And what needs to be provided to the commission to show financial responsibility?
Again, per Rule 6008, motor carriers must electronically file forms of financial responsibility. An example would be insurance.
And how long does that evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect once it's on file?
Per Rule 6008, again, requires that each insurance company give the commission a 30 days advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
And what is the next step when you receive a notification of cancellation or of non-renewal?
We use the commission's Operate database to compile a list of motor carriers that we receive notice of cancellation from the insurance company.
Before we turn to the exhibits for today's hearing, I just want to double check. Ms. Riley, did you provide the exhibits for today's hearing to all of respondents?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at what's been previously marked as hearing exhibit number 1. Thank you. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the respondents that the commission received notice that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
And who exactly prepared this list?
Commission staff,
And how did commission staff prepare it?
we used the commission's OpRights database to compile the list.
And when did staff prepare this list?
On August 21st, 2023,
Is it the practice of the commission to create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see in Exhibit 1 in the regular course of the commission's business activities?
yes,
And is it likewise the practice of the commission to maintain documents like this in the regular course of its business activities?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I move for admission of Exhibit 1 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. There being no respondents, there is no objection. There are no objections to the admission of hearing Exhibit 1, so hearing Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Ms. Riley, based on this list, what action did the commission take?
The commission sent a letter to each respondent.
Let's turn to what has been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 2. Ms. Riley, what is this? What are we looking at?
These are the copies of the letters sent to each respondent on today's updated list.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just about to ask you what information these letters tell the respondents, which is probably what you were about to testify to.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah. The letter explains that all operations under its authority may be suspended as of the date the insurance expires, unless proof of proper insurance is filed with the commission. It also provides notice of today's hearing and advises the respondent that if proper evidence of financial responsibility is not filed with the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
And when did the commission send these letters?
On August 21st, 2023.
Is it the practice of the commission to create letters like the one we're looking at in the regular course of the commission's business activities?
Yes.
And is it the commission's practice to maintain letters like we see here in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to move for the admission of Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. If I could just ask the legal assistant very quickly to just scroll through so that we can have on the, for the record, to see how many of these letters we have so that anyone watching on the webcast can have a sense of it as well. I believe there were 10. Okay, great. There being no objections to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2, hearing Exhibit 2 comprised of these 10 letters will be admitted.
Ms. Riley, does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes, per Rule 6006 requires that motor carriers establish and maintain a designated agent with the commission.
And were these notice letters, these 10 notice letters in Exhibit 2, sent to the addresses of the designated agents provided to the commission?
Yes.
And how did the commission serve these letters?
These letters were mailed through first-class postal mail.
If we could please turn to what has been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 3. Ms. Riley, can you please describe this document?
This is the attachment that was sent with each notice letter in Exhibit 2. It contains information about the electronic hearing and how to participate in today's hearing.
And when was this attachment sent to respondents?
This attachment was sent to each respondent with each notice letter in Exhibit 2 on August 21st, 2023.
If we could just scroll down to page 5, just so we can see all the pages here. Perfect. Thank you. And is it the practice of the commission to maintain documents like this in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the standard practice of the commission to create documents like this in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
At this time, I move for the admission of Exhibit 3 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. There are no objections, so hearing Exhibit 3 will be admitted into evidence.
I'd like to turn your attention to what has been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 4. Perfect. Ms. Riley, could you describe this document?
Yes, this is the certificate of service for each notice letter and attachment sent to each respondent.
And did the commission create this certificate of service in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain the certificates of service we see in Exhibit 4 as part of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Exhibit 4 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. There being no objections, hearing Exhibit 4 is admitted into evidence.
Ms. Riley, the language on the certificate states whose names and addresses appear below, and then it also states see hearing cycle listing. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing that we saw in Exhibit 1?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. Let's return to Exhibit 2, which is the notice letter that were sent to respondents. Now, this letter gives the respondent information about providing evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. If the commission does receive evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing, what happens?
Then we will not proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from the updated hearing cycle listing.
And did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing?
Yes.
Let's turn to what has been marked as Exhibit 5. Ms. Riley, what is this?
This is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. It contains the names of the respondents that still have failed to provide proof of current effective levels of financial responsibility with the commission.
And who created this updated list?
Commission staff.
And when was it created?
This was created yesterday on September 12th, 2023.
And did staff create this list in the same manner that it created the initial hearing cycle listing, which was Exhibit 1?
Yes, that's correct.
Ms. Riley, is it the practice of the commission to maintain lists like Exhibit 5 as part of its records in the course of its business activities?
Yes.
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain lists like Exhibit 5 in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to move for admission of Exhibit 5 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. If we could just scroll and see how many pages Exhibit 5 is for the record, that would be helpful. It's just the two. Okay, so Exhibit 5 will be admitted into evidence. It's the 2-page hearing cycle.
Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all motor carriers that are listed on pages 1 and 2 of Exhibit 5?
Yes.
And do the addresses that are listed here in Exhibit 5 match the carriers' addresses that were listed in Exhibit 2?
Yes.
And when is the last time you checked to see if there was any change in status in the carriers that are listed in Exhibit 5?
This morning, September 13th, 2023.
So is staff recommending dismissing any carriers listed on Exhibit 5?
No, we don't have any dismissals for the carriers listed on Exhibit 5 at this time.
And are you aware of any pending applications that might affect the carriers listed in Exhibit 5?
No, we don't have any pending applications at this time.
And lastly, are you aware of any letters that were returned to the commission?
No, we did not have any return mail for this proceeding.
Ms. Riley, do you know when the decision that's issued as a result of today's hearing becomes a final commission decision?
The recommended decision will become a final commission decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the decision if no exceptions are being filed.
And if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the decision becomes the final order of the commission, what happens?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that particular respondent.
What is staff's recommendation for today?
Staff recommends that the certificate of permit numbers listed on hearing exhibit number 5 be revoked due to lack of financial responsibility as required by law.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Your Honor, I have nothing further for Ms. Riley.
Thank you so much, Ms. Walker. Do you have any other evidence?
No, the commission does not have any other evidence at this time. We rest.
Thank you so much. There being no respondents, that concludes the evidentiary portion of our hearing. So I will go ahead and make our closing statements and we can close the hearing. The next steps from here I will issue a written recommended decision. As Ms. Riley indicated, that decision is not effective immediately. It will be effective 20 days after the mailing date, which will be stated on the decision. The decision will include information on what a respondent can do in order to avoid revocation. I don't know when that written decision will be mailed, but I assure everyone that it will be mailed as quickly as possible and that it will take effect after it is issued, 20 days after it is issued. And Ms. Walker, bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. That would then conclude our hearing for today, and we will be adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ms. Walker. Thank you, Ms. Riley. All right.